We're in the shop today on Labor Day, and a little later than normal, but here we go. Question number 3. What must be planted for the bees to work upon? So on Labor Day today, we posted on our Facebook, Napa Bees, a native pollinator working a native plant. This is a really long topic, but let's see what they say here. Strange as it may seem, it usually does not pay to plant anything that is valuable only for the honey, unless waste places such as roadsides and fence corners can be utilized that would be of no value in any other way. Very often, the natural sources of nectar in the locality can be augmented by sowing of sweet clover seed, and since this is coming to be known as valuable forage instead of pest or weed, as it is formally called, there is no question that it pays to grow sweet clover for hay, and thus secure some additional honey of fine quality also. However, it must be remembered that each blossom yields only a small amount of nectar. Hence, there must be hundreds of acres of any such plant before any great difference will be noticed in surplus honey produced, if there are very many bees in the locality. However, as stated, first, almost every locality has enough natural resources of nectar to support one or more colonies without artificial pasturage. Since alfalfa clover is becoming grown more and more, even by the farmers on the east, there is every reason to suppose that there will be more honey produced from these sources in the future than ever before. Buckwheat is a good yielder and especially valuable for furnishing nectar in the late summer to keep brood rearing. So there you have it. This is true. If you want to make enough honey, a ton of honey, you need a lot of acres. You can't just be planting 1/8 of an acre of something. Most places, just like it says here, most places do have enough honey to keep the bees alive so that you can pollinate your gardens and your neighbors' gardens and things like that. But the majority of honey that is being produced by backyard beekeepers in suburban and city areas is funny honey. We've talked about that before. So there you have it. We will be going through our school and helping you guys figure out what blooms you can plant. 3/4 of our bees locations are on farms, so that's why we can make honey. But once again, unless you're putting sugar syrup or food coloring in your sugar syrup, you are, even according to old books, you are making funny honey. And you won't know that until you do it. So yeah, once again, it usually does not pay to plant any single thing that is of value only for honey. So if you're just trying to make honey, usually by the time you pay for the seed and you spend this money on planting it and watering it, it doesn't really pay. You can augment, all of your ditches, and you can year by year increase the number of blooms and bloom offerings throughout the year. But trees and shrubs are the best way to produce more honey. We will talk about that further. Tomorrow's question. Have a great Labor Day, guys. We got to get back to work here in the shop.